Let's talk. Today could be the day. The day that you take steps to become the person that you've always wanted to be. But I know. But that would require me to work. That would require me to get out of my comfort zone. Yeah, I know. Those same thoughts went through my head, day in and day out, for years. See, 5.5 years ago, I smoked marijuana with a friend of mine and developed an issue called depersonalization, in which I was removed from my body. I constantly felt like I was in a dream state, like I was high all the time, and that I wasn't in control of my movements. It's very miserable, and I really wouldn't wish it on my worst enemies. But nonetheless, I went through it. Early this year, I developed agoraphobia, and I was bedridden and afraid of the world around me, afraid of even leaving the house that I live in. You come to a place where you're so sick of living the life that you're living. And when you get to that place, anything is better than being in the place that you're at. I recovered from depersonalization, and I wrote a book about it called Depersonalization, How I Recovered and How You Can Too, in which I list my story, my journey, and how ultimately the steps that you need to recover from depersonalization, it's you. You are putting yourself in a depersonalized state, and you are keeping yourself there. And until you get out of your comfort zone, and until you face your fears head on, you're going to remain in that spot. You're going to remain in that fearful state. So let me ask you, what are you going to do? Are you going to take this video and just go to the next video about depersonalization? Are you just going to keep researching and studying or going on these forums? Because I did that for years. 5.5 years I spent on forums, YouTube videos, reading books. I did anything I could to cure myself of this depersonalization. I changed my diet. I meditated. I constantly checked how much sleep I was getting. I went to therapists, psychologists, psychiatrists. It came to a point where I knew more about depersonalization than they did. And I just come week after week, sitting on their couch, and pretty much just venting to them about my week, of how terrible it was to be living with depersonalization. I knew more than they did, and we were on the same level, where I was able to talk with them and tell them, well, this is what I'm going through, I'm thinking about trying this. And they'd say, that sounds like a good idea, I think you should try that. It's like, what? I compiled all my notes together, and I finally took it upon myself to cure myself. It's a great book, and I've actually gotten some good reviews from it. I have another YouTuber called Stefan, shout out, and he likes it. He likes the book a lot, and it seemed to help him out. I'm going to put the book in the description below. Let me know what you guys think, and I'll see you next time.